Hello everybody, you're welcome to my channel, you're welcome to my page. I want to, of course, thank you every time because I cannot really thank you enough for those who have been watching my videos, for those who have been liking, for those who have been sharing, for those who have been commenting, and most of all, those who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. You're the real MVP. All right, so we are still talking about interviews, right? Those job interviews, the questions, and the whole euphoria about interviews. We are going to be talking about a question that usually repeats itself in almost all the interviews. It's almost like all the HRs came together to decide that among all the available questions, this particular one must always come up, right? You would agree with me, at least, even if not, you've not heard it in all of your interviews, at least one or two interviews, you've heard the HR or you've heard someone ask you, how do you handle pressure? Work pressure. How do you handle pressure? And then, and then people begin to say, oh, it's the response that is very funny. So you hear people say, oh, I'm a Christian, so I just go back to pray. I just talk to my God, which is good. It is really good that you talk to God. You let him know how you feel, and then he will send the Holy Spirit to help you. Yes, it is good. But at the same time, that is not the response to how you handle pressure. Right, so this question is not really about you handling the pressure. It's about you knowing what to say that can convince the panelist or the HR that you do know how to handle pressure. Basically, the aim of this question is to know if you can still make sensible decisions in a calm manner, in an orderly manner, despite being under pressure. Okay, they just want to know if you can still be organized and composed, in spite of the pressure you're going through at the moment, right? Because really, everybody can say they can handle pressure, but the things you say, how you put it, is what will really convince us, the listeners, or convince the HR person that you can actually handle pressure. So when you say things like, oh, so even when I have tasks to do, I probably have, you can say, I have a way I arrange my task on my laptop that I can mark them off and color code them to let me know which is most urgent and most important, right? To know the ones that are urgent but less important, blah, 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 and like that. If you can categorize your work and color code them for green, amber, and red, just to make you know if, the red, of course, means this is really important, deadline is going. And the green light means you're through with this assignment, it's no longer something you should worry about. Then, of course, the amber means I am currently working on it, or it is due for me to work on, or blah, blah, blah. You can make them understand that this is how you organize yourself, right? And then you can now proceed with an example from your past experience. Give them a situation, then explain the task, right? And then explain the pressure itself, right? Say, for instance, my boss was asking me to get something done in 2 hours when ideally it would take me like 2 days to get it done, right? And he was really under pressure because he had a customer on him, and I was also under pressure because he was transferring the pressure to me, right? And then you cannot proceed with, okay, so that was the situation, and if I don't do it, this is the ripple effect, or this is the effect of it, right? And then you proceed with what you did. Paint a clear picture. Be honest and tell them exactly what you did, what happened, and how you decided whatever decision you took. show it to them that first of all, you're organized. Secondly, you can make good rational decisions, despite being under pressure. Thirdly, you are calm despite being under pressure, which are all these things are factors that should normally not be part of what you should still have when you're under pressure. So you can say those three things and then tell them the positive results you were able to achieve despite the pressure, right? That way you will convince the person listening to you that, okay, this person knows what she's doing. They'll be convinced that, okay, yeah, this person is aware of what we're asking and she can deliver. So I will give you an example, right, of what happened to me personally. At the time, I was working with a radio station, and usually my show goes out, I think it was on, was it on Friday? Because this thing happened like 2010 or 2011, thereabout. So I think my shows used to be on Friday or something. I can't really remember. And so we had the task of ensuring that we edit the show and go take it to the studio, because you just have like a disc that will be given to you then. So you take it to the studio, to the presenter to slot in when it is your time. You write the name of your program on the CD, the time, the date. And so at the time, in fact, the show that my show was supposed to be like an insert for the show had already started. Ideally, time is already, in fact, you shouldn't even be submitting any insert once the show has started. That's the ideal thing in media world, right? But for whatever reason, I was behind schedule that day and I just could not make it at the right time. So my editor then was furious, was scared that, Adebola, is it that we're not going to get your insert because your show needs to go out now in few minutes? The main show has started, yours is an insert, and stuff. And so I started editing. I was just really scattered in my mind. But in a way, I was able to put everything together and just listen up and edit my program thoroughly. So I had just 3 minutes left to my program to go on air. It was a miracle that I was still able to edit that despite the fact that I was under pressure. And that paying attention to details is definitely a feature that runs away when you're under pressure. Eventually, my program went. It was a success. In fact, I got more likes for that program. I got more comments. It was almost like I was not under pressure. It was only me that knew what I went through to pull that off. And so if I could do that then, and I have replicated it in other places that I've worked, it shows that truly I can work under pressure. I think if you can even say it like that, you have even killed them, you have convinced them. The second question that you would hear, that is like common that people talk about is, what is your strength? Or what are your strengths? What would you consider as your strength, right? I am telling you, in every question, always consider the position you're going for. Even when you're answering the question about your pressure and how you handle pressure and all of that, always consider the position you're going for. Do not let anything you say affect your stance or your chance of you getting that job. Okay, I hope you understand. So if you're answering the question about how you handle pressure, ensure it is something neutral that has no negative effect on the position you're going for now. And if you're also planning to answer the question about your strengths, choose something that is not detrimental to the position or your chance of getting the job. You should be honest, but try as much as you can to let them know that, okay, this is my strength. Over time, I have seen it work for me. People have commented about it. I have received different awards concerning it. and that is because I have shown it in different positions. If you are going for sales, you may want to use strengths like ability to convince people. Look for a strength that will help you for the role you're applying for, like HR. My field. So if you're going for a job like HR, your ability to work with people, to work with a team, to be the people's person, your ability to know how to be diplomatic when necessary, because you're now between the management and the staff, right? Your ability to be the middleman, your ability to your conflict resolution skills, your communication skills, your innovative skills. So always ensure that your strength tallies with what you are applying for now. Do not pick a strength that is just standing on its own. Yes, it's a strength, but it's not useful to them, so they may not consider it as anything, anything big. As a matter of fact, they may even forget. So you want to choose a strength that would constantly remind them of you. Even after other candidates have come and gone, they would still remember you. Or was it that lady that said her strength is this? Was it that guy that said his strength is this? That will help you because you would stand out with your response. Now, the final question I want to treat for today is your weakness. This is the total opposite of what you did for strength that you do for weakness. Do not, at any point in time, do not at any point of the interview mention any weakness that has to do with the job you're applying for, or any weakness that can jeopardize your chance of getting this role. Ensure that you say something that has nothing that would indict you or that would stop you from getting the job. So we have worked on 3 questions in this video. We worked on 1 in my previous, and we have just few others to work with. Probably in our next video, we'll be able to complete some commonly asked questions during interviews, right? And how to answer them. To read more about these questions and understand more on how to answer. Remember, I tell you, preparing is the best way to get that success in an interview, right? And do not forget, every question you are asked, it is important that you keep in mind the position you are applying for, the position you want to get. And so that you don't say things that would block your chance totally from you getting the role, right? And you don't want to say things that would look like you're overhyping yourself, or things that looks like you're over-promising, and then you begin to look fake. So people will become more skeptical of you. So you just want to be moderate, be honest, keep it calm, keep it cool. Do not do too much. Do not be too laid back. All right. But ensure that when you speak, you're hitting the nail on the head. All right. That is extremely important. I hope you like this video. Please do like, do share, do comment, do follow me on my YouTube channel. I am also on LinkedIn. So feel free to comment, to send me a DM. I will respond as soon as I can. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for always watching. Thank you for always listening and supporting. I love you guys. Thank you.